Have you ever wondered why we hold on to pain when all we aspire for is love and happiness? We all experience pain. It's an inescapable part of the human condition. But sometimes we find ourselves clinging to that pain, even when it's causing us harm. This is what we refer to as inner pain, a self-inflicted wound that we carry within ourselves. You see, our souls are creatures of love. They yearn for joy, for connection, for the uplifting moments that make life worth living. Your soul doesn't want to dwell in the past, to rehash old wounds or wallow in the bitterness of regret. No, your soul wants to dance in the present, to bask in the warmth of love, to rejoice in the simple, profound beauty of existence. And yet, there's this other voice, isn't there? A voice that whispers insidiously in our ears, reminding us of old hurts, of betrayals, of the times we were let down. This voice is the voice of the ego. The ego is a master of defense, a fortress builder. It erects high walls around our hearts, not to keep others out, but to keep us in. The ego clings to pain as a shield, a justification for its existence, a reason to keep building those walls higher and higher. But what if we could quiet that voice? What if we could tear down those walls brick by brick and let the light of love shine in? What if we could stop defending our pain and start embracing our capacity for love, for forgiveness, for happiness? The ego would have you believe that your pain is a part of you, that it defines you. But your soul knows the truth. Your soul knows that you are not your pain, that you are not your past, that you are not the walls your ego has built. You are love. You are joy. You are the endless potential of the present moment. What if I told you that the key to healing is not in holding on, but in letting go? What if I told you that the path to happiness lies not in defending your pain, but in releasing it? Would you be ready to take that first step? Our souls, at their core, aspire for love and acceptance. This is a profound truth that resides within each of us. But what does it mean for our soul to aspire for love? Let's imagine our soul as a luminous entity. This entity is not separate from us, but rather an integral part of our essence. This essence, or soul, is not confined by our physical bodies or the limitations of our human experiences. It is boundless, timeless, and inherently pure. It is the part of us that is always striving for unity, for harmony, for love. Love, in this context, is not merely an emotion or feeling. It is a state of being, an energy that is fundamental to our existence. It is the force that binds us together, that connects us to each other and to the universe. It is the undercurrent that flows beneath all our actions, all our thoughts, all our experiences. Our soul's aspiration for love is a yearning for this state of unity and connection. It is a desire to return to our natural state of love, to feel interconnected with all of life. When we feel love, we feel a sense of belonging, of understanding, of peace. We feel at home in our own skin, in our own lives, in our own world. But how does this aspiration manifest in our lives? It manifests through our actions, our words, our relationships. It is expressed through kindness, compassion, empathy. It is reflected in our capacity to forgive, to let go, to heal. It is revealed in our pursuit of truth, of beauty, of joy. Yet this aspiration for love is often overshadowed by our human tendencies. We get caught up in fear, in judgment, in resentment. We become entangled in our egos, in our insecurities, in our pain. We forget our inherent connection, our inherent unity, our inherent love. Yet, if our souls yearn for love, why do we often find ourselves stuck in a cycle of pain and resentment? The answer lies within us, and the journey to discover it begins with understanding the nature of our soul's aspiration for love. This is where the ego comes into play. It's the ego's job to defend and justify our inner pain. Now, imagine the ego like a seasoned lawyer, arguing its case in the courtroom of our consciousness. It's persuasive, it's convincing, it's relentless. Its primary objective? To make us believe that our pain is necessary and justified. The ego has a knack for holding on to negative emotions, almost hoarding them. Anger, resentment, guilt, envy. It's as if these emotions are badges of honor, trophies of battles we've fought. The ego thrives on this emotional turmoil, feeding on the drama and the chaos. But why does the ego do this? Why cling to these negative emotions when they cause us so much distress? Well, the ego uses these defense mechanisms as a way to protect us. Or at least, that's what it wants us to believe. It convinces us that these emotions are our armor, our shield against the world. It tells us that our pain validates our experiences, that it makes us who we are. But here's the kicker. These defense mechanisms are not our friends. They're not protecting us, they're imprisoning us. They're keeping us stuck in a cycle of pain and suffering, preventing us from moving forward. The ego also has a tendency to play the blame game. It's always someone else's fault, never ours. We're the victims, they're the villains. This way, the ego can justify our pain and absolve us of any responsibility. But what if we stop for a moment and question this narrative? What if we challenge the ego's assertions? What if we dare to ask, is my pain really necessary? Is it truly justified? And what if we start to realize that these negative emotions are not badges of honor, but chains holding us back? That we're not victims, but active participants in our own lives? What if we start to understand that it is far more important for us to be happy than it is for our ego to be right? But what if there's another way, a way that leads to healing and inner peace? The path to healing is paved with forgiveness. Imagine forgiveness as a gentle, warm light. It's a beacon in the darkness, a guiding force towards healing. It's not an easy journey, but it's one worth undertaking. The power of forgiveness lies not in condoning wrong behavior or forgetting the hurt, but in liberating ourselves from the heavy chains of resentment that weigh us down. When we forgive, we choose to rise above the pain, to step out from the shadows of anger and bitterness, and to step into the light of compassion and understanding. We choose to free ourselves from the shackles of the past. We choose to let go of resentment and invite peace into our hearts. But what does it truly mean to forgive? Forgiveness is an act of courage. It means accepting that we have been hurt, acknowledging the pain, and then consciously deciding not to let it define us. It means understanding that everyone makes mistakes, including ourselves, and that holding on to anger only hurts us in the end. Forgiveness is also an act of self-love. When we forgive others, we are essentially saying, I value my peace of mind more than my need to be right. We refuse to let our thoughts be consumed by negativity, and instead, we choose to focus on healing and moving forward. But forgiveness isn't just about others. It's equally essential to forgive ourselves. We all stumble, we all falter, and we all make mistakes. It's part of being human. Self-forgiveness is acknowledging our faults and failures, learning from them, and then letting them go. It's about giving ourselves permission to be imperfect and to grow from our experiences. In the grand scheme of life, it's far more important for us to be happy than it is for our ego to be right. So, let's embrace forgiveness. Let's allow it to wash over us, cleansing our hearts and minds and leading us towards healing. Remember, forgiveness is the key to unlocking the door to inner peace. Now, the question remains, how can we let go of our inner pain? Let's dive right into it. The process of healing inner pain begins with self-awareness. It's about recognizing the existence of this pain, acknowledging it, and understanding its origins. It's about taking a deep breath, delving into the depths of your soul, and facing the uncomfortable truths that lie there. It's not about blaming yourself or others. It's about seeing the pain for what it is, a wound that needs healing. The next step is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like what happened or agree with it. It simply means you're acknowledging the reality of the situation. It's about letting go of the what-ifs and if-onlys, and embracing the what is. Acceptance is the key that unlocks the door to healing. Now, let's talk about the power of positive thinking. It's not about denying the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about choosing to focus on the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the growth that occurred because of the pain. It's about shifting your perspective from being a victim of your past to being a survivor and a warrior. It's about realizing that despite the pain, you have the power to create a beautiful future. To truly let go of inner pain, you must make a conscious decision to release the negative emotions attached to it. This may involve forgiveness, both of others and of yourself. It may involve letting go of resentment, anger, and guilt. It's about choosing love over fear, peace over turmoil, and hope over despair. When you let go of your inner pain, you free yourself from the chains of the past and open yourself up to the endless possibilities of the future. You allow yourself to heal, to grow, and to evolve. You allow your soul to shine brightly, radiating love and positivity. Remember, it's far more important for you to be happy than it is for your ego to be right. Choose love, choose forgiveness, choose healing. Thank you for joining us on this journey of healing and self-discovery. We've explored some deep and sometimes painful territory, but remember, it's through facing our pain that we find our true strength. Now, we invite you to continue this journey with us. If you found value in our content, consider subscribing to Soulful Serenity. We continuously strive to provide uplifting, empowering content that aids in personal growth and healing. Our community is built on shared experiences, mutual support, and the belief that we are all on a path to becoming the best versions of ourselves. By subscribing, you're not just getting access to our content, you're becoming part of a community of individuals dedicated to healing, growth, and self-love. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We are here for you, and we are stronger together. Subscribe to Soulful Serenity, and together, let's continue on this path of self-discovery, healing, and personal evolution. Thank you for your time, and remember, choose love, choose forgiveness, choose healing.